mind. This webinar itself is a composite proof to this axiom. It is another virtual platform where we are going to devise new strategies for our respective institutions in the time to come to better their quality of teaching learning as well as organizational and co-curricular and extracurricular practices. Friends, this is this webinar is collaborative effort of the Diphu campus of Assam University, Silchar, a prestigious institution of higher education in Borak Valley, Assam, and internal quality assurance of each college, which is one institution of higher education in the semi-urban vicinity of Tihu, located in the western part of Nalbari district of Assam. It is worthwhile to mention that our institution is also set to cross the historic milestone of 60 years of glorious existence a couple of years later. Both Assam University and our Tihu College share a common interest to speeding education in the semi-urban as well as rural community. At this opportunity, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to both the coordinators of organizing such important webinar, which might be instrumental in bringing a paradigm shift in uplifting the status of quality education in upcoming time. With this few words, I once again welcome to all of you to this webinar on improvement of quality of higher education institutions and declare open. Thank you. Over to Dr. Jyoti Talukdar. Jyoti Talukdar.
Thank you so much, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir. May I now take the opportunity to thank our principal, sir, for his wholehearted support and encouragement in arranging this seminar. Now, it is time to introduce our honorable resource person, Dr. Ganesh Hegre, sir, Advisor, NAAC, Bangalore. Actually, our Hegre, sir, needs no introduction. He is an advisor, NAAC, Bangalore, a very well-known figure. A figure with a brilliant academic career, holds a doctorate degree in mass communication and journalism from the University of Mysore. Before joining NAAC, he served as a publication executive in the Department of Science and Technology, Vigyan Prasar, Government of India, New Delhi. He is keenly involved in the framing of assessment framework of NAAC for the last 2 decades and has experience of assessing and accrediting more than 1,400 institutions of higher education across the country. He has involved himself profusely in designing as well as he is profusely involved in designing as well as conceptualizing assessment manual in specialized area like health, teacher education, guidelines and publication, etc. True to his spirit, Dr. Hegre has organized several workshops and training programs for vice chancellors, for principals, for faculty members, for professors, for assessors abroad. The list is endless. He also shows his professional competency in the international arena as well. He has participated and contributed to national and international seminars on higher education, assessment and accreditation, internal quality assurance system, quality in teachers education, best practices, so on and so forth. He has been board of directors for international network of quality assurance agencies in higher education from 2013 to 2015. Dr. Hegre has authored 2 books. One is on information communication technology and higher education, and another one in 7 action points for IQAC. He has co-authored two books for NAC. One is on best practices of IQAC and other is state-wise analysis of Punjab. Now I request Dr. Hegre sir to deliver his valuable speech. Now over to Hegre sir.
Okay, thank you. Kindly make me to present and share the screen. Kindly make me to share the screen.
Yes, sir. It is. I think it is possible.
1 second, I'm just
I
trying.
make you co-host. Okay, sir.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Hope it is visible.
Yes, absolutely.
Namaskar. On behalf of the Assam University and on behalf of the Tihu College and myself, Dr. Ganesh Hegde, welcome to you all for this webinar. I take the opportunity to thank the Pro Vice Chancellor, Dr. Shivasi Biswasji, and I also take the opportunity to congratulate the principal, the Dr. Kishore Kumar Talukdarji, who has taken a special initiative to make this webinar. I also take the opportunity to thank Dr. Niranjan Roy, Dr. Jitu Talukdar Madam, and also Dr. Anup Kumar Dey, who has taken a special interest to make this webinar live on the various platforms. Today morning at 11 to 1, at 2 hours we will be spending specially for improving the quality in higher education. Basically, we all teachers, we are working in different areas of the country and making ourselves the dedicated to the enhancing the quality in higher education, particularly for the tertiary education. So when a student is coming for a BA, BSc, BCom or a MA, MSc, MCom or MTech program, so the students will be taken care by the institution. On behalf of our director, the Professor S.C. Sharma ji has conveyed a special message to the webinar host, congratulating the Assam as well as all the northeastern region, the faculty members, including all over India. The many participants are there. So he has conveyed a special message and a thanks to the organizers. Today, around 45 minutes to 50 minutes, I will be speaking to you on the assessment and accreditation. मैं सभी प्राचार्यगण को वंदना देते हुए मैं एक श्लोक से मेरा प्रेजेंटेशन शुरू करना चाहता हूं. अखंड मंडलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. My respect to all the teachers who have been the source of inspiration for many students, who are guiding the source of the inspiration for all the students and many people who are making their life for the better living. NAC has got a vision statement. When you look into the personality or a person or an institution, you are looking for what is your vision. A vision should come as a byproduct of a thinking process. NAC has got a vision statement stating that to make the quality as a defining element of higher education in India through a combination of self and external quality evaluation. That means self-study report which you prepare is the Swa Adhyayan, that is the self-motivated, the manual which you are using for the self-improvement. Self-improvement is the one thing which comes as the internal resource allocation and internalizing and the churning process. The external quality evaluation is the NAC does for a once in 5 years. The institutions also need to take care about the promotion and sustenance initiative. NAC is also taken and several promotion and sustenance initiatives. I just would like to bring out Tihu College may be having a small statement, which is a vision statement. Many colleges may be having some vision statement. A vision statement should be a focused one, and it should be short, it should be simple, and it should be specific to your areas of approach or areas of operations. How exactly you will do, that depends upon the each institution. NAC has got a mission statement stating that periodic assessment, academic environment, the promotion and of the teaching and learning research. Today we are at the COVID-19 situation, we are at our home, but we are using the technology for reaching out. The principal was telling that the मैं किशोर कुमार तालुकदार को अभिनंदन देता हूं. He told one word stating that we cannot stop the mobility of the mind. The mind is the one which talks about how you will be interacting with one. So I would like to think that the teachers should look into the academic environment within the space available. How you will reach the student, it is more important. Encouraging the self-evaluation, accountability, and autonomy in higher education. I just would like to share 2 or 3 things with you here is that in the coming next 5 years down the line, the Assam should have at least more than the 75 to 100 autonomous colleges in the region. So autonomy in the higher education needs the teachers involvement, student involvement, and also the infrastructural availability and the support from the universities. मैं आशा करता हूं, मैं सभी लोगों से निवेदन करता हूं, in the next 5 years down the line, at least minimum 50 colleges should have opted for the autonomous status. The institution also need to look into the quality related studies, which NAC is also doing, collaborate with the other stakeholders like MOUs, MOAs, and several things you can do in the institution. NAC is looking about the 5 core values. The core values are the core thing. What is your core subject? For example, if I am teaching a physics, physics is my core subject. If I am teaching the chemistry, inorganic or organic chemistry may be my core subject. Like that, there are some core values should be there. The core values comes as the individual institutional things. The core value may be discipline, time management, or the knowledge, or whatever may be the things. You need to look into that, how the core value depends. The national development is one of the things. How many students have undertaken the project work? That is also one of the question. There is one question comes, how many national papers you have written in the UGC care data? That is another thing. So like that, several questions are there. For example, just to share with you that the how many students from the XYZ college in Assam has gone to the national level. So it may be sports in Kho, sports in the running, sports in maybe there in the basketball, or it may be in the hockey also. So how exactly the students have undertaken that one? That is a national development thing. Fostering the global competencies means that the knowledge component, skill component, and a communication skill is more important. Inculcating the value system. Value system comes as a byproduct of that one. For example, if there is a value system is there, so the Tihu college may take the sincerity and the discipline and the time management, and the Gandhian philosophy is also another thing which you can look into, or maybe the value system of the northeastern states. You can look into it, how exactly you can do it. Promoting the use of technology means that today at the COVID-19 situation, we are at our own home, but we are using the technology. The technological advances, how utilizing, that depends upon you to look into it. The quest for excellence is the, if you're doing 1 to 4, I think you can look into the quest for excellence. The core value would come from the integrity, from the ethics, from the trust, from the teamwork, and the support and the innovations in the higher education institution. You can look into the NAC website for applying to the NAC. My request to all the teachers is that don't get excited that you have to apply to the NAC. You take your own situation at a controlled stage, at a later stage, maybe at a 3 to 4 months down the line, maybe in the January or February when everything went very well, you can look into it. NAC is also supporting those institutions. For example, the academic year when it is coming to the existence. So 1920, some of the portion need to be completed. Universities have not completed the final year examination, which we are also aware of that one. We are also supporting the institutions to complete those academic year with the support of the faculty members and the student. The final year student has to take the final examination, then only the academic year will be completed. Now, how to apply to the NAC? It depends upon you to look into that, the NAC website. The NAC website you have to go through, and then you kindly download the standard operating procedure, the manual, the data template you can download, and keep on preparing your self-study report. So it will take 6 to 1 year to prepare self-study report. I request from the NAC whether an institution which is undergoing the assessment or maybe going at a later stage, but they can register in the NAC portal. So my request to all the higher education institution is that you kindly register in the higher education portal. Now looking into the method, AISHE code should be there for to register, and an email ID is required. So name of the institution and institution type is a similar thing which you can add. But what I request is that if you wanted to ask any question to the NAC, then you can register in the higher education portal of the NAC. So 24/7 it is open, and you can ask question at any time for the your question can be asked by 24/7. NAC will also reply within 48 hours. What is required for IIQA? For IIQA, you need to have an affiliating university letter. You need the current academic year, the affiliation letter you need. And if you are under the 12B, then you have to give the 12B certificate. If you are not under the 12B of the UGC also, NAC is undertaking the assessment. You can have to give the affiliating university latest recognition letter. AISHE certificate is mandatory. Uploading the AQR in the website is more important. Those institutions which have already undergone the accreditation, maybe 2003, 4 or 2011, 2015, those institutions need to submit the AQAR. Previous 5-year AQAR need to be submitted to the NAC. So that means from 1450 or 1516 to 1920, you have to submit the AQR to the NAC. Now kindly go through the NAC website. Undertaking the need to be given by the higher education with the IP address which computer you are uploading. Self-declaration need to be given by the institution. How many courses which you are running in the college, that need to be given to the NAC. Now, during the last 6 months of their validity period, if you are a subsequent cycle, whether the institution must have undergone the accreditation in 2006, maybe the institution underwent 2011, or maybe in 2014-15 you must have undergone the accreditation. So last 6 months means that if you are applying to the NAC in 2021 March, let us say, so from the October, November, December, January, February, March, so 6 months is the starts from the October. So from October to the March, whatever the dates are there, you can apply to the NAC. That means last academic year of the 5th year of the assessment period, you have to apply to the NAC. Just to share in a simple word is that ball आपका कोर्ट में नहीं होना चाहिए, it should be there in the NAC court. So that means your application should be pending with the NAC. That's how we will be continuing the validity period. During this COVID-19 situation, NAC has brought out the different guideline for continuation of the validity period. For example, if your institution is from 1st March to the any time in the September, October, if you are undergoing the accreditation, you will be given some 3 to 4 months or 6 months period for the what to call extension. So kindly look into the NAC website or raise an issue in the issue management system, which NAC will reply to you. Now, what is the mandatory disclosure? Any institution need to have the one icon for the NAC. In the icon of the NAC in the website, the SSR submitted, data template which you are uploaded, annual quality assurance report, accreditation outcome document, certificate and grade sheet need to be put on that NAC tab. You can ask the question in the support help desk, provided you are registered in the NAC portal. So registration of the portal is more important. Like in the bank account, you will be opening an account. So transaction will happen only when you go to the bank. So like that way, so you are opening an account does not mean that you are going for accreditation, but your opening account will make you to ask the question in distant places to the NAC, so that NAC will reply to that. What is required for the assessment is understanding the metrics, what is quantitative and what qualitative, uploading the relevant document of the data template, non-applicable metrics, 30 weightage is the non-applicable metrics are there for affiliated college. Go through the NAC manual guideline is another thing. Standard operating procedure and helping the submission. DBB clarification is another thing. Student satisfaction survey is the last one which you can look into it. So the timeline is more important. Registration will be accepted by the NAC within 15 days. After the 15 days, there are 45 days has been given for the SSR submission. Now, data validation and verification for the quantitative metric. It happens through the computer within 21 days. So, for example, if you submit a self-study report this side, and the same will be converted into this side and will be viewed by the DVV partner. So data is same, but the platform is made to use the same platform by the DVV partner. So announcement of the DVV after the completion of the within 15 to 21 days, and after that verification will happen at the NAC, and then it will be declared to the institution within 7 days. The pre-qualification is there. Pre-qualification means whatever the quantitative metrics are there, out of that metrics, suppose for example 60 metrics are there for the PG colleges, out of the 60, 25% of the metrics you have to pass, then only the pre-qualification will be passed. So peer team visit will be there within 60 days, that is the thing, and calculation of the CGPA will be quantitative and the qualitative, and a student satisfaction survey, this will be the accreditation outcome document will be there. Now the flow chart which I already shared with you, this is the one of the flow chart. Now the system generated score. System generated score is a DVV, whatever we call as data validation and verification, is around the 63%, and 38% or 37% will be there for the peer judgment. For example, in the validation purpose of the NAC, NAC has got the 7 criteria. The 7 criteria is like this: curricular aspect, teaching, learning, evaluation, research, innovations and extension, infrastructure and learning resources, student support, progression, governance, leadership and management, and institutional values and best practices. What is the new thing which have been brought out by the NAC? As your syllabus will be changing, Board of Study is taking the change of the syllabus, NAC is also changed its accreditation syllabus. The accreditation syllabus has come with a new idea like student satisfaction survey, innovations ecosystem, alumni engagement, institutional values and social responsibilities, and institutional distinctiveness. जो संस्था का नवाचार का बारे में NAC ने एक प्रश्न पूछा है. So for example, just to share with you, the DNA of the Dr. Ganesh Hegde and Dr. Niranjan Roy will not be the same. So DNA of the two persons will be different. Like that, two institutions will be different from within and outside. So how they are different, that NAC is asking. There are 93 metrics are for the UG and 96 metrics are there for the PG. For example, if you see here the criteria wise, so there are 35 or 36 metrics are there as the qualitative metrics. There are 58 or 60 metric for a UG and PG are there for the quantitative metric. Now, what is required to understand? What is qualitative, what is quantitative? A quantitative metric is the one which asks you about the data. Qualitative work is the one which give you the explanation thing so that you will be validated. Now, my request to you to understand what is UG and PG. A UG college is the one which having the UG program like BA, BSc, BCom will be called as the UG college. What is a PG college? A PG college is the one where the MA, MSc, MCom, MCA, MBA will be run. Those colleges will be called as the PG college. If a college is having the one program like the MA, MSc, MCom also will be called as the PG college for the evaluation purpose. What is required? Required is you have to download the Excel sheet from the NAC website of the quantitative nature. Data templates are there. It will be evaluated in a particular template. The template has to be filled up by the institution for the proper understanding. It is essential to fill up the format and upload the filled format in its appropriate metrics. Suppose, for example, if you are having the 1.3.2 and you should upload in 1.3.2, not in 1.4.4. So it is not possible. So to evaluate. So what I request is that institution need to upload the fill template in the appropriate metrics. The only when the template is complete, it facilitates an easy DVV. The DVV partner, the data template and the institution information which they have given in the portal will be validated properly by the DVV partner when you give the correct and the correct data template in a proper manner. So then only you will get the less questions during the DVV stage. Now, introductory note should be given, criteria-wise summary should be given, strength and weaknesses, opportunities to be given, and information has to be given. What I request for the Assam colleges is that kindly make the some 500 to 600 word which are specific to your college and which be for your university, for your region specific. Those lines should come in the executive summary in the beginning itself for the institution. For example, if you look into the thing, for a criteria 1, there are the 4 key indicators are there. As our human body is having the different organs, like that 7 criteria, 32 key aspects or 31 for the UG, and then the 93 metrics or 96 metrics for the PG are there. So kindly understand that type of the thing and then understand how exactly the institution has to function. For example, just to share with you, ensure the effective curriculum delivery with a well-planned and documented process. So effective delivery comes by way of delivery mechanism. The syllabus has to be good. The ideas should be good. The documentation process has to be made easy for the student. Every teacher at the end of the semester has to take examination. Now, well-planned and documented present means that your syllabus, your the curriculum delivery mechanism will be put on the your institutional website. For example, if it adds to the academic calendar including for the continuous internal evaluation. Continuous internal evaluation may be having the sudden test will be there, a monthly test will be there, the end semester examination will be there. One more thing you can do is the open book examination. Now online examination also will be there. So those are the some of the things which you can add in the academic calendar for the online examination. You can also think about it that the 90 marks will be there for the face-to-face and 10 mark will be there on the online examination. So or a project-based work. So depending upon the university and yourself, you can decide how exactly your institution can perform better. Design and development of the curriculum on the add-on and the certificate courses is another thing, and a diploma course. For the NAC, the diploma courses need to be recognized by the affiliating university, that you have to look into it. Choice-based credit system is another thing. Elective system will be there. So, or elective course will be there. What are the elective course? Next, in some slide, I will share with you. Professional ethics, gender and human values, and environmental sustainability. Professional ethics. Research ethics is one thing, and the professional ethics also depends upon how to write a paper with the proper documentation process or a reference is also another thing. You need to look into it. If it is a geology, you are having the dissection, there is a procedural ethics will be there. The gender environmental sustainability is another thing. So gender is the one. Suppose if in your college 60% of the girls are there, so then the gender audit can be done, and by doing that one, women cell can take up more work for that particular thing. Human values is another thing, and environmental sustainability, as per the government of India and the Supreme Court order, you have to have some courses on the environmental sustainability in the curriculum. And number of percentage of project work, field work, and internship. A project work can be taken up by the sociology, political science, history students. They can take care. And a field work, so for example, the botany, zoology, geography, geology, they can take up the field work also. Sociology department also can take up this field work. And internship, for example, if you are having a BCom and a final year student can take up an internship in some bank or a insurance agency or in the marketing agency, so that your student will be put on the job for the training purpose. So how you will be doing, that depends upon you to look into it. Number of students taking up in that particular project work is also more important. How they are doing is also more important. Curriculum enrichment and graduate employability. Curriculum enrichment in the sense, it may be co-curricular or extracurricular, whatever the courses which you are running, those courses need to have some enrichment program. So the graduates at the end of the program, for example, they may be having some of the things which you can look into it. So session alli martini session alli martini sir, session alli in sir, session alli idini maatarta idini sir. The curriculum enrichment is another thing. Feedback collected and the feedback analyzed is another thing. You need to look into that feedback from the student, parent, alumni, and an employer. That is another thing. So arrangement of the experiences offered during the formal manner over a period, it may be 1 year or it may be 2 years, how exactly you are doing. So my request to the institution is that the BA, BSc, BCom is a program. MA, MSc, MCom is a program. So what is a course? A course is a paper or a subject with a specified number of credits. It may be 2 credit or a 3 credit, like that it will be there. For example, if it is a history, so cultures in the Indian subcontinent is the one of the paper. History of India is another paper. And cultural transformation in early modern Europe may be one of the paper. So you may look into it. So what is a core course? So what is a elective course? So core course is the one which will be having the core program. The core program may be that if it is a history or a political science or a economics, there are some core paper will be there. The core paper will be a core course. And elective course, there are some 3 to 4 elective courses will be there, that will be called as the elective course. Discipline specific means, suppose if it is a electronics, there are some subject will be there for the discipline specific course. In the next slide I will share with you, a dissertation and a project will be there, and a general elective will be there. For example, if you say the ability enhancement course, as a Central University, Assam University must have implemented the choice-based credit system. Competency improvement courses also will be there. Skill development courses will be there. There are some foundation course will be there. Foundation course may be there in the computer science, C++ and basic and Java may be the foundation course for the computer science. So like that, some of the courses will be there for the economic, political science, history also. So depending upon the program, the institution need to make such type of the courses which will enhance the discipline specific courses. The environmental science, English communication, or the some subject you can take up as the foundation or skill enhancement courses. For example, in the BA, BSc, BCom, you may be having a core course or core paper, and elective course will be there, which will be maybe of 18 paper. Totally 22 papers will be there for the institution, and there are 18 paper practical will be there. For full मिलाकर जो है total may be there around 93 credit will be there for a particular program. How it will be divided, that depends upon you to think about it. There are core paper will be there, there are practical will be there. There are elective papers will be having the discipline specific protocol practicals and theory will be there. So if you look into the various syllabus, you will come across such things. English communication, environmental science may be a compulsory paper. Inorganic chemistry, physical chemistry, for example, is the for the chemistry you will have, and this will be the way you can look into it. There are selective elective paper. For example, in for a chemistry, you may have the inorganic materials here, and industrial importance is one of the elective. Research methodology for chemistry is another elective paper. Industrial, chemical, and environment may be the elective paper. So depending upon the things, you can have the elective. So skill enhancement courses may be designed for a 2 to 6 credit, which may be, for example, for the chemistry, it may be chemoinformatics, pharmaceutical chemistry, green chemistry, pesticide chemistry, fuel chemistry. You can look into it. What I would like to request you is that here, what is a value added courses? Value added courses are the one, for example, in the commerce, you can have banking and insurance, .NET and Visual Basic, and Google, Amazon certified courses for the commerce student. And for English, you can have English language and lab training is another thing. For example, if you can add add-on courses are the one, it adds value to the that program for a BA, BSc, BCom, or MA, MSc, MCom. So TV production is another thing. TV production may be for the knowledge component will be there, technical component will be there. You can use that type of the courses. For example, if you are having a psychology in your college, you may add industrial psychology as part of the things. Industrial psychology, clinical psychology, these are some of the things which you can add as a add-on courses. For example, if you are having home science, you can add health and fitness also. There are some programs by the UGC are there, which may be BVOC will be there. So Bachelor of Vocational Education, you can add some of the things which will add a value. So our request is that institution, if they are running a course should be more than 30 contact hours. That means 30 hours and more, the subject should be taught for the benefit of the student. Now, institution will be having the core courses, which may be the Constitution of India, professional ethics. Some of the things may be added value to these things. There are value added courses will be there, like personality development and communication. And these are some professional ethics in the human values. Some of the things which you can add as a value added course. For example, IPR and biotechnology for the science student. For an engineering college, you can have bioethics, ethics and biosafety, and IPR is also another thing. And intellectual property right is another thing. Renewable energy and sustainable energy and sustainability, maybe the mechanical engineering department can do. So that some courses may be taken up as the additional courses. So 1.3.1 is the one where you will be having institution integrates cross-cutting issues related to the professional ethics, gender, human values, and environmental sustainability. My request is the institution is that one, kindly look into the weighted score. So whether it's a 10-mark question, whether it's a 2-mark question, or whether it's a 20-mark weightage is there. So qualitative metric will be validated by the peers. That means on-site visit, they will be validated. So 1.3.2 is the average percentage of the courses that include experiential learning, project work, field work, internship during the last 5 years. So you need to look into that, how exactly the institution is doing. As I already told you, this type of things, how it calculated, I'll just share with you the slide. Suppose, for example, you have the totally the 30 weighted mark is there in that particular matrix. In a matrix like the key indicator 1.3 curriculum enrichment, you will be having the three metrics. The three metrics has got two system generated score and one is the peer assessment. That means on-site visit will be 1 and DVV process will be 2. Now, for example, in a 0 to 4 scale, if the institution has got the 2, for example, this is an hypothetical situation which I brought in front of you, that the 10 into 2, you will get 20. Maximum one could have got 10 into 4 as a 40, but the institution has got 10 into 3. If the system generated score, DVV score, has been given as 3, then you will get a 30. Maximum you can get is a 10 into 4, 40. But you can get 10 into 0, 0 also. Many institutions have got 0 also in somewhere because they are not provided the data to the NAC on that particular matrix. System generated, for example, if it is the total, it comes to the 70. In this particular matrix, institution must have got 120, but they have got the 70. So this is how the calculation will be done in the NAC. So second criteria, which talks about the student enrollment, catering to student diversity, teaching learning processes, teacher profile and quality, evaluation process and reform, student performance and learning outcomes, and student satisfaction survey. Now, the student to full-time teacher ratio is another thing which NAC is coming up. Who is a full-time teacher? A full-time teacher is the one who takes the 90% of the workload of a regular teacher if he or she has been appointed by the college for the against the sanction post, and he or she is taking 90% of the workload, and the appointment order is also for be there for 1 year or a full semester, will be called as the full-time teacher ratio. So kindly go through the glossary of the NAC. So ICT enabled tool for effective teaching learning process means the ICT enabled service. Like today we are having the e-content development. So many things are there. Swayam will be there, MOOCs will be there, Swayam Prabha will be there, various activities will be there. I request you to look into Government of India MHRD website and UGC site. And ratio of the mentor to student. It may be 1:20, 1:40, or 1:60. What is you are having in the mentor to student ratio that you have to give? Average percentage of the full-time teacher against sanction post. Sanction post is 26, but you are having the 22 faculty members are full-time, then 4 will be the minus will be there. Those things will be calculated by the system itself. Full-time teachers with PhD. Suppose if you are having 52 teachers and 26 teachers are having PhD, then 26 divided by 52 into 100 will give you the 50%. So those things will be calculated automatically by the portal. So program outcome and course outcome. So I would like to talk to you in the next slide about that one. Online student satisfaction survey. The many institutions are asking, before going for the NAC assessment, you can use this survey at your own institution level and make a mock student satisfaction survey, which will facilitate you better. The live lectures, MOOCs with IITs, open-ended experiments, labs, and collaborative engineering labs, and facilitating the internship is another thing. Use of the technology with the various bodies, you can look into it. The final year students with taking the project work is another thing. So आविष्कार हो, अन्वेषण हो और नवाचार हो, उसी के लिए स्टूडेंट और फैकल्टी तत्पर रहना पड़ेगा. And ICT enabled service should be used extensively by the faculty member. Now Bloom's taxonomy is another thing. If you wanted to become the good teacher, you need to be very alert and use the Bloom's taxonomy. What I would like to request you is that faculty also need to know the newly coined word accreditation taxonomy that need to be looked into by the institution, looking into the various glossary and terms used by the NAC. Now remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing and evaluating and creating a new knowledge is more important. E-learning resources, ICT enabled teaching, analytical thinking, team building, self-confidence, and brainstorming, group learning methodology, live demo, web resources, peer teaching, activity-based learning, industry institution interaction, regular reviews of the journals. For example, if you would like to make one best practices, For example, just to share with you, every Friday afternoon at the 4 o'clock to the 6 o'clock, you can make a one program called the review of journals. So any one faculty can share what the new paper which is written or read, or the review of the journals also may be there. So one activity for the benefit of the academia, you can do it. For example, in the criteria 2, you may be looking about the peer assessment, or you may be looking about the system generated score. For example, if you have done a small study with you only, like self-assessment, you can do at your institutional, but you need to be honest to your representation. For example, in the first criteria, if you are given the 2 mark on a 0 to 4 scale, you will get the 40. But if you have given the 4 or you have earned the 4, then you will get the 80. So it depends upon the things, you can look into it. A minimum you can get is the 0. So you need not to should get the 0, but how to get the more mark is more important. So for example, in this criteria of the 2 in 2.3, for example, hypothetically, they must have got 115. Maximum they could have got is the 200. So this type of the things with the peer assessment and a system generated score, a new methodology has been adopted by the NAC from the 2017. Kindly understand this type of the methodology and make your framework, the knowing that type of the activity, and honest representation will help you. For example, how the calculation will be done. This is the how the thing it has been done. मैं आपके लिए एक छोटा हिंदी का लाइन बताना चाहता हूँ. उनके लिए सवेरे नहीं होते जो जिंदगी में कुछ भी पाने के उम्मीद छोड़ चुके हैं. उजाला तो उनका होता है जो बार बार हारने का बाद कुछ पाने के लिए उम्मीद रखे. तो आप उम्मीद रखिए. Let the hope will be there with you so that you will improve upon. Research and innovation and extension is another thing where the criteria 3rd, which is more important. मैं खास तौर पर असम, मेघालय, नागालैंड, मणिपुर, मिजोरम and the सिक्किम लोगों के लिए अनुरोध करता हूं. This 3rd criteria makes a lot of difference. The research innovations and extension is more important. Some research activity at down the line in your institution you need to take up. Resource mobilization, innovations ecosystem, research publication award, extension activities and collaboration is the thing. A good researcher must be open-minded and he or she should adopt a critical way of thinking, and he should be diligent, and he or she should be focused on the specific field of interest, maybe economics, political science, history or botany, geology, like that. So there is a researcher within all of us and waiting for to come out. So you should not lose the curiosity. You should be a good thinker and you should be commitment, and your sympathetic and communication skills should be enhanced. What actually the NAC is looking? NAC is looking about the grants for research projects, percentage of product departments having research project, intellectual property right, number of seminars and conferences, research papers per teacher, books and journals, extension activities in the neighborhood community, number of papers published per teacher in the journal, students participating in the extension activity such as Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, number of extension and outreach programs conducted, number of awards and recognitions received for the extension, number of linkages and faculty exchange, number of functional MOUs with the national and international institutions, universities, industries, corporate houses. We need to look into the government of India, like Startup India program, Stand Up India program, Atal Innovation Mission, Digital India, Made in India, Make in India, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, and Unnat Bharat Abhiyan, and the DST FIST program or DBT STAR program. All things need to be looked into by the colleges. And what I request the institution is to look into the innovative way. The local person can think differently using the solar energy. Institutions at the northeastern region should use the Atal Innovation Mission as part of their thing, and you can apply to the government of India. Where there is a will, there is a way. So you need to look into that one. So in the 3rd criteria, this is how the NAC calculates. This is on a hypothetical model which I brought into you for to understanding the weightages and the score. So in the fourth criteria, infrastructure and learning resources, physical facilities, library as a learning resources, IT infrastructure, maintenance of the campus infrastructures are there. ICT enabled services, for example, e-Shodh Sindhu, Shodh Ganga, e-books, databases are there. Annual expenditure for purchase of books is there, and student to computer ratio is there, and infrastructure and learning resources is another thing. Maintenance of the campus is another thing. Dynamic institutional website is another thing. Cleanliness of the institution is also more important. Student support and progression, you need to have student support and progression, for student participation and activities, alumni engagement. Free ship provided by the government, for example, the soft skill and the hard skill. Computer literacy is more important. A student who is coming from the Assam need to be able to communicate properly. The communication is more important. Yoga, physical fitness, health and hygiene, IT integration, computer skill is important. Remedial coaching is another thing. Yoga, meditation, personal counseling, psychology department need to take about the personal counseling and placement of the student. मैं अभी सभी लोगों से अनुरोध करता हूं, ये कोविड-19 सिचुएशन में खास तौर पर फैकल्टी के लिए, फॉर फैकल्टी आई प्लीड to contact sometimes the students of your class, so that be in touch with the student, so that unka psychologically you motivate the student to come out from that such of situation, which will facilitate the student to come at a higher level. The student council and representation of the students in the IQAC, in the board of study, in the board of management, or maybe in the governing council is also more important. Alumni association and alumni contribution. My request to all the faculty member and the principal is there. In the final year student, when you give a TC to the student, there is a caution money will be there. Those caution money, you give it to the student back. But at the same time, you tell the student that you kindly give the money to the alumni association, so that this alumni association can have the money, either it may be the 50 rupees or a 500 rupees. Every year the student will be going out. So they should be become the alumni member. And you need to bring out the alumni association at the higher level. Governance, leadership and management, institutional vision and leadership, strategy development and deployment, faculty empowerment strategies, financial management, resource mobilization, internal quality assurance system. These are all some of the things which you can look into it. And how you can look into it? A leader should possess a clear vision, courageous and integrity and honesty and humility, and clear focus should be there. Institution need to make a perspective plan and a strategic plan. Down the line, another 5 years down the line, I feel that more than 50 colleges in Assam should become the autonomous colleges. So autonomy should be innovated in the institutions. E-governance, financial support to attend the conference, faculty development programs, and institutional strategies, learning outcomes, and legal matter is more important. So what you need is that criteria 1 to 7, kindly prepare your own documentation process, which you make it good at the institutional level. Institutional values and best practices are there. So 3 indicators are there: institutional values and social responsibility, best practices, and institutional distinctiveness. So renewable energy, rainwater harvesting, green initiative, wind energy, and environmental sustainability, disabled friendly campus, and the academic audit, the code of conduct of the handbook, and institutional distinctiveness. As 2 institutions are not equal. For example, if I say the Tihu college in the Assam and the Guwahati college in the Guwahati, and Dibrugarh college in one of the college in Tinsukia somewhere, may not be the same, but they are having the distinctiveness. So those distinctiveness has to come within from the institution what you are doing. So what I request you is to look into the optional matrix. Optional matrix is available in 3, 4, 5, 6 criteria. 1 to 7 is not applicable and you cannot opt out. What I request is that institution, when they are looking into the portal of the NAC, kindly prepare your self-study report in Word first and then apply to the NAC in the IIQA. Once you prepare fully the self-study report, then only you submit the IIQA. So because it's a running race, so one after the other, the computerization will be there. NAC has made the more than 90% it is computerized, you will get the computerized what you call mail to reply to the NAC. So what I request the institution is to prepare yourself for the IIQA and the SSR first, then only apply to the NAC. मैं डेटा वैलिडेशन एंड वेरिफिकेशन में आपको इतना बता सकता हूं. So in the data validation and verification, there is a program will be there. What are number of programs, number of year wise? You have to give the 5-year data. That means student number of years, year wise student you have to give. In the next slide, I will tell you number of seats year marked for the reservation category. These are all some of the things like this extended profile. It is there. It is easy, but you have to give the correct figure to the NAC, because your validation depends upon the number which you are giving to the NAC. That should be the proper. Like for example, number of classrooms in the seminar halls. So if you say 25, then if number of classrooms with the IT enabled service, you cannot write 26 because it is wrong. So classroom is only 25. How can ICT enabled service will be 26? So question will come. So like that you have to understand. If it is a number of classrooms are 25, number of ICT enabled services in the classroom may be 18 also. So accordingly you have to provide the data to the NAC. What I request is the institution to look into that data required. What is the data required for that particular matrix? Formula, what formula NAC is using for making the validation. File description, whether it is an Excel file, whether it is a PDF file, whether it is a doc file, which file you are uploading, that you have to look into it. For example, just to share with you in the last 2 columns, so 38% or 37% depends upon the qualitative metric, that means on-site visit. So your more than 63% or 62% depends upon the your validation through the online, that is the DVV process. For example, quantitative metrics, you can have the this type of the things, and if you look into the various things year wise you have to give, and then there are second metrics is called the quantitative metrics, which seeks the block year data, where maybe the 5-year data which you have to give, like choice based credit system. A quantitative metrics with the option will be there. For example, it's an open-ended question will be there. A, B, C, D, E will be there. For 0 to 4 scale will be there. 4 is the A, 3 is the B, 2 is the C, D is 1, and E will be 0. So unless you give the proper data, you will not get the proper result. Quantitative metrics, which seeks the input data, latest completed academic year, that is the thing, and percentage of student undertaking the field work. This is another thing which comes as a quantitative nature. Quantitative nature also coming with the student to full-time teacher ratio. For example, you are having the student 483 in the college, and there are 16 teachers are there. 16 is to 486, it will calculate student to full-time teacher ratio. Now, the financial year will be 1st April to 31st March, and a publication document for the research work, it will be 1st January to 31st December, and academic year will be June 1st to 31st May, which NAC has calculated. And curriculum design and development, it will be validated on a 0 to 4 scale. This is on the quantitative nature, is also on the benchmark will be there. As I already told you that this is the one, and a data template will be there. A template will be, you have to, whether you are going accreditation for the after 6 months or 1 year down the line, kindly prepare now itself the data templates. In the data validation process, it undergoes the computerized process of the data validation. So in the data validation, you need to look into that how you will be reading the line. So sometimes they read the line and the metrics query raised in the DBV partner. So for example, and in the next slide, I will tell you, there is a mismatch and the discrepancy will be there. How exactly the discrepancy will be there, just I will tell you. Some gaps will be there in between somewhere. So you have to fill up the gap during the DBV process. What is that one, which I will tell you. Standard operating procedure is another thing which you have to look into it. And the computer will be analyzing will be there. And we will be talking through the computer only. No human intervention will not be there during that process. The standard operating procedure, kindly download and read the manual. And within 15 days, you have to give all the clarification. No extension will not be given. after the DVV clarification within the DVV partner, you will be looking into that thing. What I would like to request here is to just to see here, the DVV partner will be asking the question in the portal itself. The third column is the one which comes as a question. So findings of the DVV you will be getting in the portal. Kindly every day as we are checking the emails and the WhatsApp, you have to check the NAC portal whether any query has come. So the for example, just to share with you, higher education institute is not only reducing, sometimes we may be raising the thing also, because institution has given the document to the NAC. So accordingly, sometimes it will be going down, sometimes it may be going up. So the institution disabled friendly campus with the following things are there. The validation will be done through the computer only. You will be also viewed in the computer. So the deviation, whatever happens in the DVV process, you will be able to see in the computer itself. Now, institution provides an incentive to the teachers. For example, if higher education said yes, then the DVV suggested no. And the third column, they could not give the explanation on the e-copies. They could not give it. That is the reason it has been made the nil. Password protection file should not be there. More than 5 MB file need to be uploaded in the institutional website of the institution, and no other means of the communication. There will be no call or the phone call will not come from the NAC. Only through the portal it will be talked to the institution. So geotagged photographs should be given. For example, today we are having the webinar. Those things can be geotagged with the data with the photographs which you have taken. So completed information you should be get into the things, and the English version of the translator. Suppose if it is in Assamese, then you can translate into the things. So glossary of the terms you may look into it. And the after the DVV process, what is the pre-qualification stage? Out of the 60 metrics or a 58 metrics, 25 metrics you have to pass. Then only you will be go to the next level. Standard operating procedure is there. You can kindly go through it. Student satisfaction survey is another thing which you can look into it. There is a data template is there in the institution, the NAC website. You can download and make your own the survey before applying to the NAC. That will facilitate you better. Institutional student email ID and the unique ID. That means student admission ID is more important. Along with that one, name of the student and then the class which he is studying is more important. Mobile number may not be required for the validation purpose. For example, the stratified sample will be here. For example, if you are given the 5,600 student name and 50% will be 2,800. So out of the 2,800, if you are given 840, 30% will be made first in instance for the student to go. If it is less than the 10% reply is there, you can ask the NAC to extend the date. So 21 questions are there which is available in the NAC website. You can download and use the same questionnaire for your purpose. But NAC will make only the online student satisfaction survey. There are 2 or 3 days visit will be there. Maximum will be 2 days, and 3-member team will be there for the visit. So vice chancellor, professor and a principal will be there in a visit. And what I request the institution to look into that: time management, institutional on-site visit, institutional facilitate the visit, and material management. For example, documentary, papers, research paper, patent, attendance, teacher diary, criterion wise input, and all things can be kept in the thing. And you also need to show the during the on-site visit regarding the sports facility, incubation center, hostel facility, water harvesting, solar, check dam, green campus, and campus tour. You can look into it. Travel management, NAC will do it, but from the airport to the college you have to make, or the college to the hotel you have to make that travel arrangements you have to make. Report preparation and the management, and lastly it is the exit meeting will be there. So NAC will take the logistic fee. With the logistic fee, NAC will book the ticket of the SSRs. So SSRs will not book the ticket. So NAC will not pre-disclose the details, at least well in advance. Only 3 days in advance, the NAC will disclose the peer team members who is coming. NAC will take care for the logistic. Kindly don't pay anything to the peer team members. What finally happens is that quantitative metric, qualitative metric, and the student satisfaction survey put together, you will get the result. What the result is that one low performance indicator and high performance indicator, you will be able to get it. And then the red color shows the low and the blue color shows the high. And the key indicator, for example, if they got the 3.01 and 4, high performance indicator, NAC will show through the portal. And kindly do not share your password with anybody. And average performance key indicator from 2.01 to 3, and low performance indicator maybe 0 to 2, you will be able to get it. And finally, if you see here, I would like to see the graph, particularly on the third criteria, research, innovation and extension. If they have got the more mark in the research, their score must have gone up, but they could not get more score because their other criteria also depends upon the third criteria. For example, some institution must have got 0 also in that particular thing. This is the latest what we call grading system. From the 1.51 to 2 is a C, and 2.01 to 2.5 is B, 2.51 to 2.75 is the B plus, and 2.76 to 3 is the B plus plus. A will be from 3.01 to 3.25, 3.26 to 3.50 is the A plus, and 3.51 to 4 is the A plus plus. मैं अंत में ये बताना चाहता हूँ, लहरें से डरकर नौका पार नहीं होती, कोशिश करने वालों को हार नहीं होती। असफलता एक चुनौती है, इसे स्वीकार करो। क्या कमी रह गई है, देखो सुधार करो। जब तक न सफल हो, नींद चैन को त्यागो तुम, संघर्ष का मैदान छोड़ मत भागो तुम। कुछ किए बिना जय जयकार नहीं होती, कोशिश करने वालों को हार नहीं होती। तो मैं आपके लिए धन्यवाद देता हूँ, साधुवाद देता हूँ, खासतौर पर तिहु कॉलेज एंड असम यूनिवर्सिटी के लिए धन्यवाद देता हूँ, ताकि आज आप लोगों से बात करने का कुछ अवसर मिला है। इसी के लिए मैं प्रार्थना करता हूँ और अभिवादन देता हूँ और अभिनंदन देता हूँ सभी कॉलेज को और फैकल्टी मेंबर को, जो आज का ये वेबिनार अच्छा हो। धन्यवाद, प्रणाम। Over to the host. मैडम म्यूट है आप।
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for the informative lecture. And what I have learned is that we should go forward. It's not that something is lacking. That doesn't mean that we should not proceed further. So it's a great motivation also for all the participants, and most of the participants are of different.
A minute. Thank you so much, sir, for your very, very informative. I think all are hearing me, no?
Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for very, very informative lecture. It is very, very beneficial for us. We have now understand what makes our Hegresha a rare breed of educationist. Is his vision to make quality and excellence the motto of higher education institution in India. Thank you so much, sir. Now, we have another speaker, Dr. Niranjan Roy, sir, and he is now going to deliver his speech. And before that, I am going to introduce him. Dr. Niranjan Roy is a professor of economics at Assam University. He has experience in teaching and research for last 29 years and has served as a register in charge of Assam University during 2011 to 2015 as Dean of Mahatma Gandhi School of Economics and Commerce and also head of the Department of Economics in 2 terms. He has also worked as Director of Internal Quality Assurance Cell, IQAC, from July 2009 to February 2013. His research interests include agriculture economics, environmental economics, and social sector issues, social sector issues, and has completed many research projects in this field. He is a recipient of European Union's Erasmus Mundus Namaste Fellowship at Goethe University, Germany during 2015 to 2016 and undertaken postdoctoral studies in the Department of Agriculture, Economics and Rural Development here on Common Property Resource Management in Northeast India. He has authored 11 books, published 65 research papers in national and international journals. He is also associated with Committee for Formation of AQAR, Manual of NAC. May I now request Dr. Niranjan sir to deliver his speech. Over to Niranjan sir. Over to Niranjan sir.
Hello.
Hello sir.
There is a problem of screen sharing. Please switch off. One screen is showing.
Why sir?
Please switch off screen. It is coming. One screen is already there.
Okay.
One screen is already there.
Sir, I would like to request Hegre sir to stop sharing. Hegre sir, please see.
I stopped already sharing.
Yeah, it has come my screen.
Okay.
Yes, it is. Whether it has come my screen?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
My screen?
Yes.
Okay, fine.
Yes.
Fine. So good morning. Good morning, good morning, everyone. Especially the organizers, Professor Bishwas, Madam Jitu Talukdar, Dr. Anup Kumar De, for organizing a very good webinar on a very important topic, and which is very important, relevant in the context of higher education institutions. And I extend my best wishes and I congratulate Dr. Hegre for really presenting a composite package of what NAC stands for right at the moment for a higher education institution, mainly the colleges. Now, having said this, we are also growing with NAC. For the last 1 decade, I personally associated with NAC, and we are growing with NAC, and every day is a learning day for us in the context of the NAC paradigm. Now, to start with, we are in a VUCA world. A word VUCA, it means that we are in a volatile world, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguous. Now, this is if you look at the current situation, pandemic of COVID-19, it simply speaks about this VUCA world. Now, in this VUCA world, I look at the thing in a different perspective. Now, I think the COVID-19 is a blessing in disguise for us, that necessity is the mother of invention. I am seeing that there are 185 participants. Even if we convene a workshop in a college or a university, 185 people delivering lecture in a 185 people in a hall is very difficult. It's very difficult, and it will not be worthy also. But if we look at this webinar that we are addressing, we are interacting with 185 people. So this is a real opportunity for all of us, that even in this VUCA world, volatility, uncertainty, complexity, ambiguity world, we are somehow finding the opportunities to equip ourselves so that we can sustain, so that we can live, and our living environment should be better and better. Now, having said that, the NAC, as I said, we have grown with NAC only for the last 1 decade. For my, if we look at the assessment, quality assessment and accreditation framework, there are initial 10 parameters. 10 parameters of assessment. NAC has started with 1994. Basically, as part of the national policy of education, Government of India constitute a board, a National Board of Higher Education in 1992. Now, that board ultimately could not deliver the desired objective, because NAC has started in 1994 as a registered body, and NAC has taken up the whole issues of assessment and accreditation of quality aspect. And the NAC has started with 10 parameters initial days, and these goals and objectives, curriculum design, what Dr. Hegre has already discussed about. Of course, he has highlighted mainly 7 parameters which are existing right at the moment. Now, if you look at this introduction of 7 criteria, see, first 10 criteria, then it came down to 7 criteria, and up to 2011, it was 7 criteria on this curricular aspect: teaching, learning, evaluation, research, consultancy, extension, infrastructure, learning resources, student support, progression, organization, management, healthy practices. Now, 2012, again, there's a modification relating to criteria 6 and 7. Governance, leadership, and management is introduced. Earlier, it was organization and management. And in 7, innovation and best practices. Earlier, it was healthy practices. And 2017, what Dr. Hegre has mainly highlighted about the revised accreditation framework, the new 7 criteria, where there is a modification in criteria 3. Innovation has been introduced with modification from this sorry, consultancy. Then criteria 7, earlier it was innovation, now institutional values. Now, my presentation, what I would like to make a presentation on quality paradigm and internal quality assurance mechanism, which are the very, very important aspect in the whole quality assessment and accreditation process. Now, what is happening around us? Let us be very frank. Now, what is happening when NAC, after every 5 years, when NAC, accreditation process begins, most of the institutions sit together for 2 or 3 months. Most of the people, they keep ready their SSR, they submit the entire process, and then the whole process of journey of accreditation begins. Now, if you look at the quality is not something, there is a destination. Quality is a journey. Now, in the process of journey, what we need internalization. And this internalization of quality assurance mechanism is very important perspective in the whole quality paradigm of NAC, what NAC wants actually. Now, as Dr. Hegre has already highlighted on revised accreditation framework, that there is a drastic reduction in number of questions. There is a size of the report. Earlier, we used to get 2 volumes of big size report from the NAC as part of the self-study report. Nowadays, the size of the report, self-study report, has been reduced, and it is a mainly it is, I mean, objective based, though there are some subjective, elaboration and analysis of the report also. And the visit days is drastically reduced. And another very important thing is the pre-qualifier for peer team visit, 30% of this score and all that what Dr. Hegre has rightly pointed out and analyzed. Now these are the three components Dr. Hegre has already analyzed. Peer team visit 30%, and for universities is around 25%. Then system generated score 70%, and in between we have the student satisfaction survey. So all these three components will ultimately lead to a system generated score, which gives you the composite value, composite score, and which will be translated in terms of the grading, as Dr. Hegre has shown the grading, table, what all these grading tables, depending upon the score, is devised. Now, what are the data requirement for higher education institution as per the new norm? As per the new norm, we have quantitative aspect, quantitative metrics, and we have qualitative metrics. Now, if you look at these qualitative and quantitative metrics, what I want to emphasize upon the input, process, and the output. So this is basically all these matrices and all these metrics, which is divided into qualitative metrics and the quantitative metrics. Quantitative metrics is basically objective type questions you have to answer. How many programs are there in the college? How many teachers are there? How many PhD teachers are there? And how many students are there? How many students are male, female? All these are basically quantitative aspect, quantitative metrics. And where the qualitative metrics, you need to elaborate on the issues relating to the some of the more elaboration required, analysis required for this particular qualitative metrics. I will come to that particular issues at a later slides. But what is more important, that 34 metrics is input based, 60 metrics process based, and 43 metrics output based. So this input, process, and the output, this relation, this triangular relation is ultimately the outcome of the quality result. The quality paradigm which the institution will get at the end of the day is basically dependent on this triangular relation, input, process, and output. Now, what does this input? Then now if you look at the stakeholders requirement, input basically students, our curriculum, faculty, staff, non-teaching staff, our facilities, physical facilities, e-facilities, ICT facilities, computerized, library, all these facilities and infrastructure related activities are part of the input. Teaching resources, as Dr. Hegre has highlighted some of the Swayamprabha and other e-platforms, and then our direct classes, classroom teaching, all these related to the teaching resources, what are the resources available, and all these are input. Then comes to process. What is this process? Teaching and learning. What is the mechanism of teaching and learning in the institution? Staff development, capacity building exercise, orientation course, refresher course, faculty development programs. Then student support and evaluation. How we are supporting the students for their sustainable teaching and learning. Then evaluation, what is the methods of evaluation? Nowadays, many of the institutions are adopting open book system. Then these are, all the student support and evaluation process. Then administration. What is the governance? Administration means the governance. Then output. What is the output ultimately? Skilled and employable graduates, research and publications and output, contribution to community. Because this is very important aspect of any institution, that what is the contribution to the community of that, what is the community orientation of the institution, what is the outreach activities, what is the extension activities, and how the communities are being, benefited as a result of this particular institution. And ultimately it comes as a stakeholder satisfaction. And stakeholder satisfaction is the outcome of the feedback. The feedback collected from different stakeholders, parents, then the employers, the community, the all people at large, the students, teachers, from all different stakeholders, we need to collect the feedback, and that feedback is very important. Now, if you look at 43 metrics of our assessment mechanism is based on output. So this is very important. 60 based on process and 34 based on input. So this input, process, and output. And now when the internal quality mechanism, internal quality assurance cell of the institution look at the preparation for the institutional quality upgradation, quality bridging. I don't say that the IQAC will only look at the NAC aspect only for getting grades and other things. Grade is automatically a byproduct. It should be a byproduct. It should not be the outcome of our own, the initiative which is being taken by the particular IQAC cell. They should be more and more vigilant on the input, process, and output. What is seen? There are many studies. I was looking at some of the recently published articles. Even in the Elsevier journal yesterday night, I was looking. It is proved that in a good institution is designated by a good IQAC, empowered IQAC. Where IQAC is very strong enough, where IQAC is very empowered, that institution is bound to achieve good grade. That institution bound to achieve good quality paradigm in the whole process of quality assessment and accreditation. So that should be an outcome. Quality result is an outcome of our quality initiative, and quality initiative should be devised on the basis of input, process, and output. Input, process, and output aspects. Now, whole issues of our these assessment and accreditation process or the teaching learning paradigm is it should be outcome based. Now, what is this outcome based? Now, program outcomes, then program specific outcomes, then course outcomes. So there are three important aspects of outcomes. Program outcomes are basically the outcomes which are stated and displayed in the website. What is the expected outcome of that particular program? Say, for example, BA, BSc, BCom, BA in English, BA in economics, or BCom of a particular honors. What is the result? What is the outcome of that particular program? That should be very, very clearly specified in the institutional website. Then comes program specific outcomes. Program specific outcomes is basically what the graduates of a specific general program should be able to do. Then program specific is basically, it is a disaggregated version of that program outcomes. And then course outcomes are statements which students should be able to do at the end of a particular course. Say, for example, in economics, if we have a specialization on environmental economics, econometrics, that students, what is the outcome of that particular econometrics course, or what is the outcome of that particular environmental economics course, that should be very, very clearly specified. And nowadays, the NAC metrics, one of the weightages are given, as Dr. Hegre has nicely discussed about the weightage and the marks distribution of that particular key indicators. So these weightages are very, very important. So program outcomes, program specific outcomes, course outcomes, these should be very, very clearly specified in the higher education institution. And for a college, basically, though it is affiliated, if a college is not autonomous, if it is a affiliated college, then basically for affiliated college, the courses are basically adopted from the universities. But the college play a very important role in the board of studies meeting in that particular course. And board of undergraduate studies is basically constituted taking representation from different colleges. Now, another very important aspect which Dr. Hegde highlighted a little bit on these autonomous colleges. Now, what will happen in the near future as part of the new education policy, that either a college will have to merge with the university, or a college will have to become autonomous college. There are two options, because otherwise, a college will have to award its own degree, autonomous college, or a college will have to merge with the universities in the days to come. And this is a very important paradigm, and that is this transformation phase is very important for all the higher education institutions to cope up with these challenges and with this new norm of higher education institutions in the days to come. Now, of course, in the new education policy, it says that by 2030 and 2032, these are the two important years that has been predicted in that particular new education policy, that by 2030 the process will start gradually. All these colleges will become autonomous colleges, or all these colleges will have to merge with the affiliating universities. So 10 years time we have. This is very, very important. In the next decade 2021 to 2030 is a very important decade for higher education institutions in India, that we have to slowly transform, and we have to equip with the new norm, new challenges of higher education institutions in the context of new education policies. Now, if you look at the internal quality paradigm of institution, I have intentionally make a disjoint there, quality leadership. Now, if you look at its internal quality assurance, if you center point, internal quality assurance is a center point, then what is the expectation in the outer circle? Outer circle is the stakeholders' participation, then involvement of the academia, community engagement, quality leadership. And quality leadership, from quality leadership, I have intentionally made a disjoint, because if quality leadership fails, if leadership is not strong enough, then it will not join the outer circle. So outer circle, whether outer circle will be joining or not with the stakeholder participation, involvement of academia, community engagement, it depends on the quality of leadership. So leadership is a very important paradigm in the whole quality assessment and accreditation issues. I will definitely refer two important references. Of one is by William Deming, another by Joseph Joran. They are the two important. They are called actually father of quality movement. And Joseph Joran and Deming, this Deming cycle and Joran's criteria, 1966 and 1969, they specifically gives more importance on the quality of leadership. If in an institution the leadership is not empowered, leadership is not strong, leadership is not quality, having more, it's a very important issue how to define quality. I will come to that in the next slide, because that particular important issues of leadership has been given the more importance by the Deming and also Joseph Joran in their explanation on the quality circles and quality paradigm in the quality movement of 1960s when it started. So far as the higher education and in the education sector, especially, of course, it started with higher education tertiary sector education, mainly the quality movement. Because before that, quality is basically, it was associated with only industrial goods. In the second industrial revolution, it started with in the second industrial revolution. So quality was hardly associated with higher education or education per se till 1960s. Now, when Joseph Joran and Deming, both they have entered into within a gap of 3 years only, 1966 and 1969, and they tried to give more emphasis on circular motions of the quality and quality. So this will be joining, the outer circle will be joining, or if and only if the quality of leader, empowerment of leader is really sustained in a particular institution. Now, as I told, how to define this quality. Quality has been defined in the NAC literature, in the NAC, I mean, all documents. If we look at, quality is a fitness for purpose. It's nothing but that how you are able to meet the stated purpose of education. That is very important aspect of defining quality. So this particular issue of the fitness for purpose gives you lot of importance on this. The last slide, what I have discussed, the internal quality assurance system in the center of the circle, which depends on most of the important factors for the assurance of quality in that particular institution. Then quality assurance, this is a process. So it is not that somebody wants somebody sit together or some group of people sit together and say that let us achieve quality. No, this is not possible. This is not possible because it is a process of continuous quality improvement. So this is basically a journey, and this is not a destination. Quality is never a destination. And this assessment culture, a process of evaluation of performance. So it is not that the higher education institution, they should give more importance on the quality issues, quality paradigm, and automatically the byproduct will be the assessment and accreditation of quality. Now, IQAC vision, as stated in the NAC literature, so far as the IQAC manual also, if you refer to IQAC manual, and as Dr. Hegre also somewhere mentioned, and this is very important. IQAC is a very, very important. It is the brain of the institution. And if IQAC, because if you look at the IQAC composition, IQAC is the chairperson of the head of the institution. And IQAC is the body having the stakeholders from different, I mean, having the members from different stakeholders, even the parents, the teachers, non-teaching staff, students, all are the members of this IQAC. And this particular IQAC, what is the most important issue of, what is the most important objective of IQAC is quality culture. And that is the prime concern of higher education institution. That it is not that we have undergone the process of NAC accreditation after 5 years, then sleep for another 5 years, then after 5 years, suddenly we woke up and then start our preparation, and then within a period of 6 months or 7 months, we finalize our SSR preparation and all that, and then we submit our SSR and then start the entire process. So this is basically quality culture, and how to, I mean, install the quality culture, how to ensure quality culture. That is very important. The two things. One is institutionalizing. That is very important. Institution centric. Internalizing. That is another important aspect of this IQAC. So IQAC, as I told you, and that is a very important. Wherever institution you will find IQAC is very vibrant, IQAC is very active, IQAC is very empowered. The institution has to, get good grades as a byproduct. As I am emphasizing on this particular issue, that it is a byproduct. Grade is nothing but a byproduct of entire quality culture. Now, what are the functions of IQAC? That the quality benchmark. This benchmarking is very important. The quality, there is no destination. There is no destination of quality. It is only a journey. It is only a process. But there should be a benchmark. You need to have a benchmark. What is the benchmark? What is your criteria weightage? What is your, the score of that particular criteria? What is the weightage of that particular key aspect? This particular benchmark is very important. Benchmarking is very important. Another very important issue, that every institution is different. Dr. Hegre was talking about the DNA. Yes, very, very important issue. If you visit 100 institutions, you will find 100 unique institutions. You will not find 2 institutions alike. And for the last 10 years, as part of my own experience as assessor, I have seen that every institution is unique. Whenever we are visiting any institution, we find new things in that particular institution. So that is very important aspect in this particular quality culture and quality norm. So what you need to do is to find out the parameters and which parameters are basically administrative and academic activities of the institution, because the governance is a very important. As I said, it is of course my personal opinion that I have given a disjoint of quality leadership, where the joining will happen only if the governance is very, very strong. Then facilitation of creation of a learner-centric environment, the student-centric environment. There is another very, and this IQAC will have to do. IQAC is the brain of the institution, and this creation of a learner-centric environment is very important. Collection and analysis of feedback from all stakeholders. Somewhere we have seen that most of the institutions, majority of the institutions, they end up with collecting feedback from some of the students. No, nowadays, if you look at the RAF methodology, the questions are very clear. Number one, whether you are collecting feedback from all stakeholders, and name of the stakeholders are given. Number two, if you are not collecting stakeholders, then from how many stakeholders you are collecting. Number two, number three, number four. These are the objective questions you have to tick mark. Then accordingly, you will get the score. If you collect feedback from all stakeholders, you will get full score. If you are not collecting feedback from all stakeholders, if you are collecting feedback only from students, you will get less weightage. So these are the tidbits which needs to be analyzed, which needs to be very thoroughly, analyzed by the IQAC of a particular institution. Collection, analysis of feedback from all stakeholders, then organized quality related themes and promotion of quality culture. Now, this is another very important issue. Don't take it otherwise. Now, this particular workshop the IQAC has organized is a very, very important initiative by the Tihu College, that they have organized this particular workshop on a quality related theme. Nowadays, we have come across with many institutions a different culture, that if a seminar is being organized by Department of Physics on relativity issues, the name of the IQAC is being tagged. Department of Botany, name of the IQAC is being tagged. No, this is not the expectation from the IQAC. IQAC should devote its activities on the quality related themes, and this otherwise this promotion of quality circles, promotion of quality culture, how this should be promoted. So IQAC should be focused. And if IQAC is focused, then most of the institution, automatically will be on the right track. Then documentation of the various program activities, that is the part of the IQAC job. And nodal agency of the institution for coordinating quality related activities, development and maintenance of the institutional database, MIS, management information system. Many of the colleges nowadays, they are coming up with indigenous MIS, the computer science department of many, even not only the computer science department. I have come across with some institution that a faculty members of the Department of Physics, having the knowledge of computer, developed the MIS of that particular college. So these are expected from the particular college. And this management information system, that should be very, very important aspect of the quality paradigm of the particular higher education institution. Then academic and administrative audit of institution, that should be done by the IQAC and its follow-up. And the last important, last but not least, is the AQAR, Annual Quality Assurance Report. Now, of course, thanks to the new norm of RAF, Revised Accreditation Framework of NAC, nowadays you have to submit AQAR online, and there is a window which will open for a particular period of time, of course, for a particular submission of AQAR. Now, earlier time, before that particular 2017, I have come across some institution that 5 AQAR they have submitted at the time of submission of self-study report. So this is not again expected from the IQAC, because the AQAR is a very important aspect of your preparation of self-study report. Of course, nowadays these AQAR, it will be a kind of mini SSR, because if you combine 5 AQAR, it is nothing but your SSR. It is not that you sit together and you have submitted AQAR differently and you will submit your SSR differently. No, AQAR is a part of your SSR. If you combine all AQAR, because most of the questions, most of the criteria, most of the key aspects which are being asked in the AQAR is a part of the SSR. So this AQAR is very, very important. That is why, as I said, that yearly activity is very important and need to be monitored, need to be looked into by the IQAC of a particular institution for quality movement. Now, this quality management principles, this is another, the whole paradigm of this quality management, commitment of management, identification of IQAC team. Management has to be very, very alert as the commitment of the management, identification of IQAC team, SOC. You have to analyze SOC, strength, weakness, opportunity, and challenges. Okay, as I said, every institution is unique. That means that your strength, it is your strength which cannot be copied by other institutions. Okay, so your weakness, you have to identify your weakness, your opportunities, your challenges. So this SOC is very important for finding quality gaps. What the institution look at, the institution is looking at the bridging quality gaps. Okay, as Dr. Hegre was showing one slide of bridging the data verification process, is basically, I look at it at the quality gaps. You have to bridge quality gaps on the basis of the identification of the SOC, strength, weakness, and opportunities and challenges. Then formation of various committees for the institution. This is basically decentralization of administrative services, governance, transparency of the institution, and awareness of quality aspect. Most of the institution, the faculty members across, the non-teaching staff across, the students across, they need to be aware A few days back, I was in an institution for as an expert of annual academic and a part of academic and administrative audit. Now, when we interacted the students, they do not aware of the IQAC of that particular institution. So this is really very unfortunate. So these particular awareness of quality aspect needs to be taken care by the IQAC, and I mean timely, regular interaction with different stakeholders, the parents meeting, then students, then the faculty members, then the non-teaching staff, all needs to be taken into account in the entire process of this quality culture and the quality circles. Now, this distribution of weightages as Dr. Hegre has analyzed, I am not going into this particular distribution of weightages. What I want to highlight is basically the distribution differences of the weightages into universities, autonomous colleges, and the affiliating or constituent colleges. So this, if you are from the constituent colleges or if you are from the universities, because hardly we have in Assam, of course in many other states autonomous colleges are there, and some of the participants maybe they are from other states. So these three important distribution is very important. If you look at the academic flexibility, how the marks differ across different key aspects, key indicators of universities, autonomous colleges, and affiliating or constituent colleges, and this is very important for taking decisions in the context of the quality culture. Then if you look at the student enrollment, as similarly the catering to student diversity, I am not going into the details of these particular key indicators, only the differences in the weightages. Then the teachers profile, teaching learning process, teachers profile quality. The affiliated colleges are having more, 80 is given for this teachers profile and the quality. Then look at the teaching learning evaluation. Teaching learning evaluation for universities 200, then for autonomous colleges 300 marks, then affiliated colleges 350. So that means this particular distribution of marks will give you a clear paradigm how you look at the key indicators on the basis of your institutional aspect so far as the SOC is concerned, the strength, weakness, and the opportunities and the challenges. Then promotion of research and facilities. For affiliated colleges it is not available, but for others, if you look at the 120 is the value for this particular affiliated colleges, but for universities it is having more, 250, autonomous colleges having 150. Then similarly for infrastructure and the learning resources, weightages are equal, 100, 100, 100. For student support and progression, the weightages for affiliated colleges are having 130, little bit more than compared to the universities and the autonomous colleges. Then governance, leadership, management, same weightages, 100, 100, 100. And what are the looking at the governance, leadership, management, institutional vision and leadership strategy development, faculty empowerment strategies, financial management, resource mobilization, then internal quality assurance system, 30 marks is allotted for this particular internal quality assurance system. So all these particular key indicators will give a clear direction for the particular institution. Then these institutional values and best practices, institutional values and social responsibilities, environmental consciousness, which is a newly added, then best practices, institutional distinctiveness, innovations are of course having the similar weightage across universities, autonomous colleges, affiliated and affiliated and constituent colleges. Now, I have intentionally taken this particular criterion, institutional values and best practices, how a particular institution, even in the rural areas, where if you look at the many of our institutions which are having in the rural centric, as Madam Jitu Talukdar was initially pointing out about the disadvantages of the rural institutions like Tihu College and also the Assam University Diphu campus. Now, what this particular criteria is being, when I remember in the discussion in the RAF methodology, while framing this methodology, there is a lot of debate and discussion on this particular issue of rural-urban divide, rural metro divide, urban metro divide. So this particular, criterion I have taken out to give more emphasis on this particular, say, rural institution like Tihu College. If you look at the institutional values and the best practices, gender equity, which is some of the key questions are there. If you look at the questions, these are the indicators which I have taken out from these manuals. So women appointed in teaching positions, women appointed in non-teaching positions, gender sensitization program organized by the institutions, gender sensitivity in providing facilities, social securities, counseling, common room, etc. The girls' common room or the common room for the women faculty members, whether you have these facilities or not. Now here, institution can make a difference. Okay, so across the institution, even the rural institution, you can make a difference on these particular issues, on these particular key aspects. Then the environmental awareness, environmental consciousness, sustainability. Now look at what are the issues here introduced in this particular revised accreditation methodology. Alternate energy initiative, such as replacement of existing conventional bulbs, tube lights with power saving LED bulbs. If you change the LED bulbs, CFL, then conventional energy power replaced with renewable energy, then energy audit, then waste management steps, recycling of waste generated on the campus, e-waste disposal, what is the mechanism of e-waste and management, and then solid waste conversion for the source of energy and manure, your vermicompost. Many of the rural institutions, interestingly, giving more importance on this vermicompost than this biofertilizer, this e-waste disposal, then this recycling of waste. So all these, as I told you, that institution can make difference here in this particular key aspects and indicators. Rainwater harvesting structure, utilization in the campus, then green practices. What are the green practices you have? Bicycles, use of bicycle, public transport. I'm sure rural institution will get more advantage than the urban institution. In many of these, if you take the example of Presidency College of Calcutta, and if you take the example of Diphu, Assam University Diphu campus, on this particular criteria, Diphu campus will get as over Presidency University on this particular key indicator. That is why these particular indicators has been devised so nicely in the revised accreditation framework, so that across the board, some normality, because the assumption of normalization is being addressed in this particular revised accreditation framework, so far as the small institutions, so far as the bigger institution, and the diversity across the institution is concerned. Then resources available institution, your physical facilities, provision for lift, ramp, etc. All these being taken into account. Then institution distinctiveness is another very important. As part of the normalization paradigm, the institutional distinctiveness, one best practices. This is unique to the institution. Your best practice is your best practice. It cannot be copied by other institution. So it is unique to the particular institution. Then your examples of performance in an area aligned to the institution vision, your priority thrust area of uniqueness, rural development, tribal upliftment, women empowerment, minority empowerment, then skill development, vocational education. All these are being taken care of in the revised accreditation framework. Then human values and professional ethics. This is another important key aspect of this criterion 7. Then human values and professional ethics, code of conduct, handbook, then core values of the institution and how these core values are being displayed in the institution website or your entry gate. It may be displayed in a prominent places, number of activities conducted with promotion of national integration, communal harmony, then institution makes conscious efforts. All these are the part of the normalization process. So ultimately, I have come to the end of my presentation. So ultimately, what is the important issues so far as the internal quality assurance mechanism of the institution is concerned is nothing but quality, closing the quality gap. Okay, so this quality gap is looking at two important aspects. One is the quality assurance agencies, the NAC. NAC is contributed in giving the grades to the institution as part of the evaluation and accreditation framework. And nowadays, the radar chart, the pie chart, all these bar chart, the disaggregation of your quality radars. This is very important contribution by the NAC so far as to understand the quality gap of a particular institution, that you can understand the quality gap, which are the important gap areas, which are the areas you need to give more thrust in a particular key aspect, in a particular key criterion, in on the basis of the result of your disaggregated result as being given by the NAC nowadays. But one thing is very, very sure. Now, this comes from the part of the NAC. NAC is basically giving you the result on the basis of the assessment and accreditation framework and giving the disaggregated result of criterion wise. But the quality is the responsibility of the institution itself. That is very important. And that depends on the internal quality assurance mechanism. And this internal quality assurance mechanism, it again depends on the quality of leadership, quality of good leadership, empowered leadership. That is very important paradigm of higher education institution. Now, looking at the normalized aspect of, again, the NAC, now you see the selection has to be very fair. So what this person is asking, all the institute, all stakeholders, that everybody has to take the same exam. So exam is the same. So that is very important, that in this destination, that internal quality assurance mechanism needs to be more strengthened and needs to be more diversified for the institution. Thank you very much for patient hearing.
Thank you so much, sir, for illuminating us by your in-depth knowledge in this field. You talked about IQAC, talked about its functions, its importance, and whatnot. We are very lucky to have such an wonderful resource person here. Here, I would not like to miss a golden chance, I would rather say, to recollect Roy sir's one great help in one of my, even during my PhD work. I shall remain grateful to you, sir, Roy sir. So, as I have told already, we are very lucky enough to have such a wonderful, resourceful resource persons here, Hegre sir, as well as our Niranjan Roy sir. Thank you so much. But at least all these provisions in web-based seminars the most regretful drawbacks is that we are depriving our resource persons from a good hospitality. Not even a cup of tea we are not going to offer, and some token of respect. Even we are not able to give you a pure fulam gamusa or a pital or horai. But I cannot dare to bear this debt. I am surely send our resource person, if not others, but at least a fulam gamusa or and a pital or sorai to show our gratitude and respect to them. We are quite sure and determined about that. Thank you. Thank you once again, sir. Now the session is open for discussion. And I think our Anup will take over now. Anup, are you here?
Yes, yes. Thank you, Baido. Now we have initially, am I audible?
Yes, absolutely. Please
Okay.
ask your
So
questions in the
initially,
chat box, dear participants.
yes. So meanwhile, when the participants will ask the question, I would request Professor Mishra from Assam University is the Dean of Social Science earlier. Maybe more than one occasions he was the Dean of one of the participants. So I'd request Professor Gopalji Mishra to put one or two questions to our esteemed resource persons, so that by that time our other invitees, other participants can prepare their question. Professor Gopalji Mishra, sir.
I think we'll
Can you
have to
hear me?
unmute.
Yes. Baido, please unmute all. Let others also.
Okay, I am trying.
I request all the participants to mute themselves voluntarily, so that we can hear the speakers in a clear way.
Yes. Others are requested to mute themselves. Only the speaker will speak.
We have also some. Can come up with any specific questions, you are welcome, sir and madam. Because from the chat box, what I am getting is most of the participants are expressing their gratitude, or they are appreciating the speeches of both of our scholars, research persons. So, any specific question?
Sir.
Yes.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, Golabji.
Yes. You are absolutely
sir, myself, Gulab Nandi. I am assistant professor in the Department of Economics, SS College. And at the same time, I am also the convener of Research and Publication Cell, IQAC, in our college. So I had two queries. One is to our Dr. Hegre sir, and one is for our Professor Niranjan Roy sir. So my first query to our Hegre sir is that, sir, you mentioned in your presentation value-added courses that can be inculcated in our institutions also. So I need to know, we are very much interested to have some courses in our institution, but we don't know what are the procedure, whether we need affiliation from university or from our MHRD. So if the institution is willing, then self-finance courses can we have in our institution? That is my query to you, sir.
Sir, your college is under which university is coming?
Sir, it is under Assam University.
Assam University. Now, Assam University is following the choice-based credit system. That is one thing. Na?
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
when you are having a choice-based credit system, value-added courses are the one which adds a value to the program. That means you teach which subject?
Economics, sir.
Economics. So economics, political science, history. These are the three combination will be there for a student.
Yes, sir.
Because it goes with some background of the thing. Suppose now the internship and the on-job training is part of the sometimes the curriculum. Now, suppose if you would like to make the some subjects adds a value to the economics. It may be survey or it may be anything on taxation. Suppose, for example, the GST. So that GST is a certified course will be there. So you can take help of the income tax department and your economics department, commerce department. Three together, you can make a some value added course. So the course should be more than 30 contact hours. That means a program course can maybe finish it within a month or maybe 6 months. So it depends upon you to think. It may be one class in a week or two class in a week or maybe three class in a week. Depends upon the course you can decide. A course may be part of the curriculum is also called as a course, and it may be apart from the program also. So for example, some courses from the BSc they can take from the economics also. So there is a way to look into it. The synchronization with the syllabus which you are having in your university with the choice-based credit system. It may be 2 credit or 4 credit. It is within the curriculum. Suppose if it is apart from the curriculum, then it will be adds a value. So for a certificate course, a college can start on the certificate course. For a diploma, you need a approval from the affiliating university.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. One question is that the courses followed by the affiliated college may not be in conformity with the vision and mission of the institution. How can the institutional vision and mission be achieved while following the affiliating university curriculum? So this is one question put by one of our participants.
The affiliating university makes the curriculum with a broader perspective. The Assam University will be having more than 5 to 6 districts with under the their jurisdiction. That is one thing. Now the college which is running the art, science and commerce program will be having a vision which they have to merge with the program. So those programs whichever they are running, their vision statement should go hand in hand. So they cannot separately thinking that some vision statement you borrowed somewhere and you put it in your college and it cannot be give you the fruits. The fruit will become when you think internally and along with the program. Suppose if you are having art, science and commerce program and you are having the home science as one of the subject. Women empowerment comes with the home science subject also. So fashion designing also comes with the what to call women empowerment, and extension work will also come. So how you will do that depends upon your program. That program which you are running. Suppose for example, we work cosmetic and the various objects are there in B work. Whether the college is applied to UGC for B work, that depends upon the internal dynamics of the college. So college has to make the vision statement as part of their the curriculum. That means sociology, political science, history, economics, or the botany, geology, chemistry, whatever you are running. My request is that within the institution, you need to churn out what should be the good statement which you can make as a vision statement. Those vision statements should come within from the faculty member. The faculty member has to think what sort of the curriculum which you are running, and my statement takes to that vision statement. So you have to look into that one. So I request the faculty member to look into it.
Okay. Anup,
Another,
here is one
yes.
question. May I ask?
Yes, yes.
Okay. One Marina Borshoikia to Hegre sir. So, sir, our college has already 3 times postponed NAC assessment program due to some unavoidable reasons. So, then what will happen? Because of maybe COVID or something else, what will happen then?
No,
She's asking, sir.
Unless you give the full details of the college, we are not able to tell properly. The when it is postponed, I don't know. She has also not told and the things. 3 times postponed, that is true, not a problem. But whether they have submitted the self-study report, whether they have submitted self-study report in 2014-15 or 18-19 or 19-20, what is the date they have submitted? That is more important. Unless they give the full detail, I cannot give the offhand answer. That is one thing. Second thing, as I told you, if the college is having any question, they can raise in the IMS. This is called issue management system. So there is a help desk is there. Within 24 hours, we will reply. Within 2 days, we will reply to the institution. What is their what to call previous track will be available in the NAC database. So we'll accordingly we'll give the reply.
Sir, another question. Talking about UG and PG college. So if any college has 1 or 2 PG programs, can it be termed as a PG college?
Yes. If it is one college, the program is also PG. For example, MCOM, for example, MA, for example, MBA or MCA. If there is a one program also, it will be called as a PG college.
Okay. So another question is, what are the probable and considerable inputs of MIS developed by the institution? Is it the same with the MIS data that we upload to MHRD?
Sir, MIS is a short form of the Management Information System. This is a coin word by the management gurus. The MIS is nothing but the database management. Database management in the sense, suppose if the student is applying to your college, now the admission through process will be online. When it is online, you know how many gender ratio, how many men and how many women has applied, and what was their age group, and from which district they are applying. So what is their background? So you can take up all the things in the admission process. And admission, there is a examination. First semester, second semester, third semester, internal marks, all can be done in the MIS. When you are having an MIS, it will facilitate you to keep the data. So to take a proper decision at a particular time, you need the data. Whether 49 is the higher than the 51, how you will be able to know? When you have a percentage, the percentage will be calculated based on the data. The data needs to be there with the MIS. MIS is nothing but gives you the broad perspective of the database management. And third thing is that, suppose if you would like to give a TC, so whether you are given a TC to that particular student, you should not give a 2 TC at a particular time. So the student should get only 1 TC. So the computerization will tell you that whether you have issued or not. So this type of the things, suppose for example, e-governance, a student gets a scholarship from the college with 1,500 rupees. You have dispersed. Suppose if you are not done in the MIS, so then you will not be able to get that type of the data. Data can be done with only with the MIS, the Management Information System. We have given the MIS. You can give the student information index also. SII, you can make it. So there is no hard fast rule that you have to put MIS, but it is a data which will give you the some computerized the software or database management which you will be able to make. So data analytics is another thing which comes up as a later stage. So you can use the MIS.
Okay, sir. Another question is that Dr. Nihar Ranjan Kalita, he says that our validation period is till 15th November 2020, but at this pandemic situation, we are unprepared. So what to do?
Now, if your validity ends in 2020 November, you need not to get excited. First of all, I am telling you during this COVID-19 situation, see, keeping the health of the mind is more important. More than the physical, it is a mindset. So NAC is giving you the extension for the validity period. Next 6 months, we will give you the extension. There is no problem in giving the extension, which NAC is already taken a decision and it will be put on the NAC website. Already we have put up on the website, because the COVID-19 situation, when it will be over, we don't know. So that is the reason we have given an extension of this 6 months period. So down the line, up to December, any college which are applying to the NAC or the validity period ends, their 6 months period will be extended for the next academic year. Now, this pandemic situation, my request is that kindly keep the cool mind and take the good health care, staying at home for a few more days. Then when the situation, I think you can write to the NAC if you want. We will reply.
Hello. Another question is that we have a fixed academic schedule and syllabus from the affiliating university. In such a situation, sometimes UG colleges face problem to work with the fixed NAC marking guidelines. So what to do?
Sir, as you all know that if it is a choice-based credit system, there is a marking will be there, 70-30 will be there, 80-20 will be there, 60-40 will be there. So Assam University is following some choice-based credit line. And Delhi University is also having the some choice-based credit system. Both cannot be compared also. NAC is not comparing any university syllabus or something. What we are looking is that there is some broad perspective and the broad guideline which NAC has brought out. Suppose if it is a specific curriculum revision and the number of courses and everything, yes, every year or every 2 year, every 3 year, institution need to change some portion. It may be 5% or 10% or 15%. Some portion of the course, which is a course means is a paper. The paper has to be changed for the over the years. That is how NAC is calculating.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
One question is also for Professor Niranjan Rai, sir. What are the core issues need to be addressed and community contribution activities? So this will be our last question because we have to wind up the thing also.
Please repeat.
Yes, sir.
Please
just
repeat.
A minute, sir. Yes, sir. What are the core issues need to be addressed under community contribution activities?
Okay.
Core issues need to be addressed under community contribution activities.
Okay. So I think under community contribution activity, NSS is very important, one of the very important component in an institution, and outreach activity, extension activities, the NAC guideline is there, and what are the requirement for this particular outreach activities, community involvement by the institution. There is a, I think some publication booklets are also there in the NAC website, and some of the institutions, they are performing, I think they are adopting different types of, say for example, let me give example of adoption of villages. Now what you do with the adoption of villages? So some of the institutions, they adopt a village, they undertake some community orientation work in the village, they send their NSS team, they do the field work in the village, And some of the institutions, with the help of NSS, they undertake literacy program in a particular village. They undertake blood donation program, health awareness program. So there's a, I mean, wide opportunities, ambit of scope for undertaking community outreach activities by the institution, but it should be, I mean, relevant to that particular institution and the village. Whatever the village, where situated, situation of the village, location of the village, and when the institution is adopting that particular village, then the relevance of that particular program need to be assessed in the context of that particular village necessity also. So I think there is no close-ended question, close-ended opportunities for this. This is an open-ended paradigm for these community outreach and extension activities to be undertaken by the institution. Main issue is to add value, value addition. Value addition is the most important issue.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Now over to Jyoti Baido. Baido.
Okay, though this question session is closed, but I have one question to Hegre sir. Sir, give some tips how to maintain quality in this lockdown period. We are in all are in home, sitting comfortably. What to do now to maintain our quality of our institution? Please,
Madam. Quality is a byproduct of your innovative work which you are doing. My request to all the faculty members is that kindly call sometimes your students who are there in different places of the you will be having some mobile number of your student, keeping the coolness of the situation.
Sir Hegre sir, please unmute yourself.
I unmuted. So my request to the faculty member is that kindly sometimes telephone to the student saying that how are you, what are you doing, what activity you are undertaking, whether you are helping your mother or not, whether you are helping your father or not, whether you are taking some of the activities, whether you are doing a physical exercise or not. So immunity building is more important. That is one thing. Physically fit, mentally alert is more. So physically fit in the sense, unless you are physically fit, you are not able to or talk for 1 hour or 2 hours. So physical fitness is more important. Second thing is mentally alert. So writing some poems in Assamese, writing some letters to your faculty member. So some creative work to be given, because mind is the one which takes care of your body. So mind should be very good. So my request to all the faculty members is that some creative work need to be taken up by the faculty member. That is one thing. Second thing is that my request to all the faculty member is that suppose if you are a faculty of the economics, faculty of the Assami language you are teaching, you are a faculty member of the microbiology, biotechnology, or some subject you will be teaching. But in your own language, whether you can bring out some book on that your particular subject after the lockdown is over. That means the students who are having some problems in that level, whether you can be able to come out with some books. My request to all the faculty members is that at the end of the coronavirus, when it is going, you should have at least one book or 3 papers in hand with you, so that some quantification we will be able to do, and some contribution you will be able to say that one during this pandemic situation, keeping intact with yourself and the society at large, whether you will be able to make some creative work. That creative work, there is no limit. So whatever you wanted to do, you can make. You can make some painting also. So there is no hard and fast rule. But the way you keep your mind very active is more important. And lastly, one question which has come in the what to call in the chat is that one. What is a geotagged photograph? A geotagged photograph is nothing but today we are having the one photograph. What is the date? What was the program? And then longitude and latitude will be there. So that will comes in the camera. So that type of the photograph will tell you that you are not created the photograph only for to get the documentation, but you have created a photograph with the documentary evidence that this is the day which we have made. Because sitting at the distant place, whether the photograph is genuine or not, how you will be able to make it? So geo-tagged photograph only will be able to make. And your laboratory, your equipment, all photographs can be made as a geo-tagged photograph. Only thing is you have to get hold of the some computer science person or some knowledgeable person to understand how exactly the geo-tagged photograph can be done. So this is how at this moment. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And I proudly want to say that we Tihu College are doing that kind of, as you have mentioned, essay competition, quiz competition we are doing. Thank you, sir. And now it's time for presidential address. The chairperson of our webinar, Professor Sibasis Biswas, sir, will deliver the presidential address. Mr. Sir, now it is your turn.
Thank you, Jyoti. Can you hear me?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Namaskar. Dr. Kishore Kumar Talukdar, Principal, Tihu College. Dr. Ganesh Anand Hegdeji, most respected advisor to NAC, Bangalore. Professor Niranjan Roy, Department of Economics, Assam University and member NAC. Dr. Jyoti Talukdar, Coordinator, IQAC, Tihu College. Dr. Ulup Kumar De, Joint Coordinator with Dr. Jyoti, Head of the Department of English, Assam University, Diphu campus, and the almost 200 odd participants from different universities and colleges, mostly connected to IQAC. Namaskar and good afternoon to you all. It is my proud privilege to be here as chairman of this August webinar with such illustrious speakers of national repute as Dr. Ganesh Hegdeji and Professor Niranjan Roy. My namaskar to you both, sirs, for gracing our webinar. Quality assurance has become the new buzzword in academics. Gone are those days in the happy 1980s and 90s when teachers in higher education would relax with complacency, raising storms in teacups and delivering lectures only in the classrooms. There is a saying, when it rains, it pours. I feel it is an understatement because the demands of the quality assurance today has come as a cloudburst, and high time it has come too. Now, productivity and upgradation of teachers and institutions in general have caused publications, seminars and conferences, and now webinars, both organizing and participation, delivering invited talks, accessing fellowships in India and abroad, etc., etc., etc. NAC accreditation is the final test of upgradation of quality, both on a personal and institutional level. And we are fortunate to be addressed by two of the most notable national figures, adept in the nitty-gritties of NAC. Dr. Hegde spoke of the vision of NAC, where he emphasized self-improvement and also external improvement. While speaking on the vision statement of an institution, he emphasized that Assam should have 50 autonomous colleges in the next 5 years. UGC Care Journal was mentioned by him. This is a national level, nationally accepted level where we should have our publications. How to apply for NAC for accreditation, what are the documents required, what it is to make the SSR submission, announcement of DVV, curricular aspects. And in this, sir, I found the professional ethics as very, very important. I found it very close to my heart, the professional ethics part which you mentioned. Thank you, sir. The student versus full-time teacher ratio is a very important thing because lots of teachers' posts are lying vacant. And the newly coined word accreditation taxonomy, I came to know the real meaning today. Thank you so much, sir. The review of journals, as you have advised, and the 4 to 6 p.m. review of journals, I shall take it up in my campus. It's a done deal. Thank you very much. And you mentioned yoga in your PPT, yoga and meditation. Yoga and pranayam, these are very much important for maintaining health, both physical health and mental health, and the psychological support that you mentioned, and most importantly, the documentation part, without which, of course, we cannot approach NAC for accreditation. The stress on autonomous colleges was taken up by Professor Niranjan Roy in his very, very informative speech. I admired this new word, VUCA. It's a new word for me. And thank you, Professor Roy. You mentioned that necessity is the mother of invention. In fact, today, during the lockdown, during the COVID-19 and the weekend lockdown in Assam, we are meeting across 200 people in the third space of this webinar. Isn't that fantastic? This is exactly what you wanted to say. You spoke about the quality indicator framework, the input, output, and process leading to the stakeholders' satisfaction. And taking up cue from Dr. Hegde, you were talking about the period 2030 to 32, when autonomous colleges would either merge with universities or they would function as autonomous. This is in cue with the new education policy, and we are in for a big change. The best practices that you mentioned, sir, the ones which I appreciated most were the gender part, the environment, the stress on environment and conservation of energy. These are close to my heart, so I am mentioning, but of course you mentioned a host of other best practices. Thank you so much. You stressed on ensuring quality and closing the quality gap. We shall collectively benefit. I am addressing both the experts today. We shall collectively benefit with the PowerPoint presentations of both the respected speakers. Both speakers emphasized on the centrality of the IQAC in overall governance in colleges and universities and upgradation in general, which would translate, according to my understanding, into NAC ranking as also the flow of fund from the UGC. Thank you to Dr. Hegde and Professor Niranjan Roy once again. Thank you to the principal, Tihu College, the dynamic coordinators, Dr. Jyoti Talukdar and Dr. Anup Kumar De, and the 200 participants for whom the webinar was conceptualized. Namaskar, Pranam. Over to the host.
Namaskar. Thank you so much, sir, for your brief, interesting speech as usual. And you are actually briefing the whole seminar, whole speech of two research persons. Thank you once again, and proud of you. Proud of you. Now, I would like to request our joint coordinator, Dr. Anup Kumar De, a faculty, head of the Department of English, Assam University Diphu campus, to deliver his vote of thanks. Over to Anup.
Okay, thank you, Vaidyo. Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor of Assam University Tihu campus, respected Principal of Tihu College, our most valued invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. It's my privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion. So I, on behalf of the organizing committee, as well as the entire Assam University Tihu campus and Tihu College, as well as on my own behalf, extend a very hearty vote of thanks to both the speakers for gracing their deep insight-based
Hello.
Yes. So I extend my hearty vote of thanks to both speakers for their deep, based on their own intimate experience with NAC and sharing with us their views and opinion today. A big thank you to Dr. Anant Hegdeji, Ganesh Anant Hegdeji, for his efforts towards this deliberation that enables us to have an insight into the theoretical as well as practical aspects of revised accreditation framework of NAC Bengaluru in relation to the constraint faced by the marginal institute. Yes, yes.
Okay, continue.
For the sorry for the network. I also wish to express my gratitude to Professor Niranjan Rai of Assam University, Silchar, who was also one of the prominent committee members of the preparation of the revised accreditation framework of NAC, for his insightful deliberation on quality assurance paradigm. I must mention our deep sense of appreciation for Professor Srashish Vishwas, Pro Vice Chancellor of Assam University Diphu campus, for his instant and constant support to organize this event. I'd also like to take this opportunity to place my hearty thanks on record to the principal of Tihu College, Dr. Kishore Kumar Talukdar sir, for the perfect logistic support and guidance he has extended to all of us. In fact, both of them are the chief sources of motivation to organize this event. I also extend my thanks to all the faculties of, especially the internal quality assurance cell, and also to the non-teaching fraternity for their enormous cooperation in organizing this event. I must mention our deep sense of appreciation and gratitude for all the respected principals of different colleges. Who not only also motivated their IQAC coordinators to this program. I express my gratitude to all the participants from different universities and colleges. Well, Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, an event like this cannot happen overnight. We all know that. The started rolling weeks ago. It requires planning and a bird's eye for details. we have been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of very motivated and spearheaded by coordinator Dr. Jyoti Talukdar, know their job and are result oriented. Special thanks goes to the technical staff who are helping this event, and also my special thanks goes to the media persons. So thank everyone. I am not mention any name, but those who are involved in organizing this event and making it a success, I express my gratitude to all of them. So this is the end of this program, and our dynamic coordinator, Dr. Talukdar, will say the final word.
Okay, thank you. Thanks to Anup Bhaiti, and thanks to all once again for your patient hearing. No, we are facing lots of network problem. In spite of all this, you are hearing patiently. That is great. And what's falls short to express my gratitude to the resource person, to our principal, to our Anup Bhaiti, to our business sir, and already vote of thanks has been given to the technical side, but I would like to mention one, name of one of my student, Polan Deka, for his technical support. And last but not the least, again, as usual, we are all thankful to Corona for giving us this comfortable platform to meet, to discuss, and to share our knowledge. Now, the webinar is declared closed. Stay home, stay safe. Namaskar.